What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind, and I'm back again. And I beg you guys to bear with me as I struggle through a sore throat and this nagging cough that I can't get rid of. But guys, I've been busy with work and spending quality time with my son, so I haven't had time to sound off on a couple of relevant topics, and one of them would be the Batwoman trailer that I've been seeing a lot of people talking about, and I've been seeing in the headlines, and I just now took a look at it, and oh my god. I mean, first of all, let me just say this, guys. I think that it's worth noting that this thing right now has 54,000 likes and thumbs up and 202,000 dislikes. Okay, 54,000 likes, 202,000 dislikes. And guys, I think I'm that 202nd dislike because I just hit it myself. And oh my god, guys, this thing looks terrible, alright? It just looks like a fucking train wreck waiting to happen. Why they thought that it was a good idea to go anti-man with this thing is beyond me. It just blows my mind. Hollywood, are we finished with this? When are we going to be done with this? Don't we know by now? Nobody wants to see this, including women. Everybody is sick of it. It's not true. It's disingenuous. All right, men and women complement each other. We work together. Nobody just walks around saying, this suit is perfection, but it's not, but it will be when it fits a woman. Like, who the hell says that that's worth knowing? It's just like, ooh, my eyes rolled in my head so hard, it hurt, it could have fallen out of my ears. It's just, dude, and are we not sick of the turning the word her into hero and turning it into, what was it in this case, here? I mean, you could do that. How far do you want to go with that? Her could mean heresy too. It could mean a lot of different things. It's like, come on, man, this is not being pro or anti-woman. It's not being pro or anti-man. It's about making something that's worthwhile, something that's worth seeing. The fandom is passionate, man. That's what it's about. It's about passion. It's not about making your political statements. It's gone too far, guys. You know, so when you see this, there's just no future in it. It's just not. It just doesn't work. Real people don't talk like that. Real people don't feel this way. It's like when you look to our heroes, we don't look to someone who's gonna do this. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. It's like nobody cares. All right? This is 2019. Okay? It's time for us to move forward. Okay? Equal rights have been granted. Now, it's not perfect, okay? Race relations are not perfect. Gender relations are not perfect. But damn it, we have a rich history in this world where we're in a better position now than we were before. As a matter of fact, if you go to some societies in this world, you'll see some true, you know, degradation and oppression. It's like what you're dealing with in most modern societies is a product of a lot of history, you know, a lot of struggle, and we need to go forward. We need to be going forward with goodwill. We don't need to be going forward with this, you know, with this thing where we just act like you have an axe to grind with people and you want to make men bad, or you want to make white men bad. It's like there's no history and stuff like that, okay? Because the current generation is not the past generation. What happened in the past, those people should have been held accountable for. But what we have today is we have like a totally new generation going forward. You know what I mean? And if you were truly, truly concerned with having things be better, then you would be promoting goodwill. You wouldn't be promoting this bullshit that you're promoting. It doesn't work. Guys, it's like, I know this for a fact. It's like my son comes to me like periodically, and he talks to me about some of the struggles that he and his friends face in school, because he feels like, and this is like little black kids, little white kids, little Spanish kids, little Indian kids. My friend, my son, like I said, he has friends of just about every, you know, color, you know, out there, you know, in you know, every you know, different nationality and things like that. And he talks about how his friends who are boys, they feel like they're being stifled in school, because he says to me, Dad, we can't even arm wrestle, Dad. He says there's so many things we can't do. We can't roughhouse. We can't do anything. They expect them to sit on the side and play the same things and games that girls play, and it makes them feel like they can't be themselves, that like they're supposed to be more feminine and less masculine because somebody has decided that masculinity is toxic. You know, so this is actually hurtful for kids today. Well, how do you think a little boy feels when he sees something like that today, where a woman says it'll be perfection when it's worn by a woman? You know what I mean? And, you know, she said something else, you know, at the end of the thing, you know, about women, and, you know, it takes, I should, as a woman, I shouldn't have to clean up a man's mess or some bullshit. I don't know. She said something to that effect. You know, how do you think that little boys feel? We're selling out our little boys. You know, and you can say, well, this is what women had to deal with in the past, but that's the past. You know what I mean? Going forward, you shouldn't want anybody to feel slighted. So what, in a couple of generations, now we're going to have to reach back and take care of that last generation of boys who were beaten down, you know, for the majority of their lives, for the sins of our great grandfathers. It's not right. And as I told you guys before, in the black community, this is almost something that you're seeing like now, you know, like where we're heading as a general population. The black community, unfortunately, in some areas have led the way with this, because you have a current generation of young black men, and there's a lot of them who are doing spectacular things, who are going to school, who are not going to jail, who are not living up to some crazy stereotype, who are like ultra productive. But there's a certain segment of the black population who are showing signs of generations of being put down and having low expectations, while women are uplifted. You know, and there's nothing wrong with uplifting women, but you can't uplift women into to the exclusion of the young men. And that's what you see. You see so many communities where the women are being held to excellence. I know people personally, I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, I know people personally who say, my daughter, you know, she's doing this, she's accomplishing that, and that's fucking wonderful. But then when you talk about what their sons are doing, oh, I don't know, you know, maybe when he gets himself together, or I don't know what's going to happen with him, you know, he's got to get a job, you know, I don't know, you know, they just let the boys fall to the wayside, but they feel good about the fact that they raised the women into positions of excellence and all that stuff, because let's face it, a lot of them are female-headed households, so that's where their priorities lie. They don't know how to raise good sons, and this society is moving in a way where it's starting to go that way generally. So this is what I'm saying. A lot of people can learn from what has happened in certain segments of the black experience in America, because that's what I've seen. I wouldn't make this up. I'm talking about this from a loving standpoint, okay? I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm just saying what I see. And I see this in my walk of life, and my walk of life is vast. I walk this earth, man. I'm outside, and I do less talking than you see on camera in real life. In real life, I observe. And this is what I'm talking about. So when you see something like this, it's hard for me to celebrate that. You know, when you see this, when you see Brie Larson, you know, when you see Eva DuVernay, you know, criticizing what happened on Game of Thrones because they killed the one woman of color on the show and stuff like that. It's like, come on, man. It's like you have to understand, we are one. We are one people. What's good for this side is good for that side. We're supposed to work together. It shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be promoted that way. And I believe that's a huge part of why you see so many dislikes to likes on this particular thing. I think there are certain things that just make people cringe. And I'm talking about men and women. All right? So when you leave it up to these SJWs, all they know is how to separate. All they know is how to divide. All they know is how to sow the seeds of anger and hatred and resentment. And we should be contesting this everywhere you turn. All right, so when you talk about the fandom and people want to say, I think I saw on Twitter somebody talked about the fandom menace. Oh, fuck every one of them. Fuck every last one of them. Why? Why? Because we have the nerve to say that we stand together. We have the nerve to say that we hold these people to a higher standard with what they're subjecting our children to, as far as, you know, what they're conditioning them with. I mean, to me, this is one step removed from trauma-based mind control. All right, when you lead someone to believe a certain thing and you give them certain traditions and certain morals and values, and then all of a sudden on TV, you feed them something opposite. It's like you pull the rug out from under them. Now all of a sudden, the people that you look to for guidance. And I don't care what anybody says, a man is very important in a family. A father is very important in a family. I watch everything that my son watches, and one thing that I see over and over and over again is the father being portrayed as a buffoon. Over and over again on TV. You show me one strong image on TV as a father, and I'm going to applaud it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying that it's very, very rare, and we have to be asking ourselves why. It's not just our sons that are growing up to be men, but it's our daughters who are growing up to have to be able to depend on the men that they end up with. You know what I mean? It's like, this is something, if you really want to be a true feminist, if you really want to be true pro-woman, teach her how to appreciate a good, strong man. That's what I'm talking about. All right, but when you see messages like that, when you see messages like it's not perfect until it's on a woman, it's like, come on, man, that's cute. But when you see it over and over and over again, that's an agenda. All right, guys, so there you have it. What did you think of the Batwoman trailer? I'm going to leave it in the description box so you can tell me. All right, you guys can check me out on Twitter. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe. I really appreciate it because YouTube is always messing with my numbers. I haven't had time to figure out why it is that I can't advance. My sub count is all over the place. I don't understand it. I don't understand YouTube algorithms. One day I'll have to slow down in order to, you know, learn all this stuff. But, yeah, man, it's like... tell me how you feel about all this. And guys, I will catch you on the next one. I've said enough. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.